the challenge we're facing here is to better understand brain function in patients who had a coma. We're trying to answer the question whether these patients after a coma are truly unconscious, so-called vegetative state or unresponsive wakefulness, or if they have some signs of consciousness, so-called minimally conscious state. And therefore we've analyzed the data and we classify them automatically, and we have the machine telling us whether patients are conscious or not based on the functional MRI analysis.
So we did so by scanning all these patients in a resting state. So we put them in a scanner, we scan their brain for 10 minutes, we don't ask them to do anything, we don't apply any external stimulation, nothing. By doing so, we can identify different networks. So here we studied 3 sensory systems: auditory, visual, motor, and 3 higher order systems: the frontoparietal, salience, and the default mode network. So we sorted all the networks based on the performance to differentiate between these 2 populations, and we found that it was the auditory system that did the best differentiation. The auditory system encompasses also visual cortices. So actually this cross-modal connectivity between auditory and visual cortex was the one that was more preserved in minimally conscious state than unresponsive patients. We tested the algorithm, this automatic procedure, on 22 patients, scanned, as I said, in Salzburg and New York. And we found that out of these 22, 20 were congruently classified. This means that the outcome of our algorithm matched the clinical behavioral evaluation.
So why is this study important? I think it helps us as clinicians to answer the difficult question, is there some consciousness? And this is important because we've shown before that if we just rely on our bedside clinical assessment, we can be wrong. In around 3 to 4 times in 10, we think that the patient is fully unconscious, so-called vegetative or unresponsive, and in reality there is some brain activity, there is some minimal signs of consciousness. Actually, we were the first to use this tool, functional MRI, measuring resting brain activity, and to quantify consciousness, and this is what we've continued doing here in this multicentric study.